Loom has the least amount of features among all of the apps that we've tried thus far. And if you pay money, you get features that a lot of the other apps are offering for free. Let's find out if it's worth the price. Hello, my friends. Welcome to EdTech with Adam. Today, we're moving on to one of the most popular screencasting apps out there right now, Loom. I hear about this every day on Facebook from my colleagues. A lot of people are using it. It's an extremely popular app. I've heard there are more than 4 million users using this app right now. Well, let's take a look at our handy dandy table here and see what this platform is all about. And as we can see here, it doesn't have that many features, and even with the paid version, its features are quite few and far between, but that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes simplicity is best, and when we have teachers and educators who are struggling to pick up new technology, this can be really good. So there are a few different versions of Loom. There is an extension for Chrome, and there's also a desktop version. And if you want to be able to use the extra features in the Pro version that you pay money for, you have to download the desktop version. And I'm going to point out which features here are the Pro features, and I'm also going to give you a heads up of which ones are the free features. The only reason I'm using Pro here is because they have a free 14-day trial, so I just clicked on that, and I'm trying that for now because I wanted to at least be able to show you how it stacks up with some of the other platforms out there. If you're using the free version of Loom, you can go ahead and launch a new video right from the browser here. However, in order to access the drawing, annotation features, and all the other goodies that come with the Pro version, we have to launch from the desktop version. So what I've done is I've actually gone to my desktop and I've clicked on the icon and I've launched this. And this is the screen that comes up. Now, this is very similar to what you see if you click on new video in the browser. As you can see here, there are a few other things here like using photo for screen control menu, things like that. But of course, all of these things are also available in the desktop version. So I'm just going to exit out of that and show you the desktop version here. And as with Screencastify, a lot of the other apps, you can choose to do screen and cam, screen only, cam only. And I'd like to do a lecture for my students. I'm actually going to jump over to my lecture topic. So I'm going to teach about my comparative grammar again. You probably noticed this is kind of a theme for this week. And I double check to make sure that my webcam is all ready. You can see here in the bottom left-hand corner here, I got my webcam all set. My microphone checked off here, the USB 2.0, and you notice here that I didn't have the right microphone selected before, and so I didn't have any kind of sound. See how like the color is sort of changing and it has like this little blue wave happening here? That means that my microphone is now connected and it detects my voice. So I've set my microphone. It tells me my internet is fast, and why is that important if it's a desktop app? And that's because all the videos record all upload online, and you have to allow it to upload online. That's the way that the Loom system works here. And so it'll tell you how your internet is, and it tells me what resolution I can make a video at. Now, as you can see here, 1080p is only for Pro users. If you're using the free version, your video quality is not going to be as high. That's unfortunate, and that means that it might be a little harder for your students to see at larger resolutions. If they're using their phones for the class, it's not that big of a deal, but it's still not particularly great. So let's close that, and let's start recording this here to see what everything looks like. So I'm going to click Start Recording. It's going to ask me what I want to select, and I want to select my Chrome browser here on the left, and it's going to give me the countdown. And then I can start my video. I can say, hello, my lovely students. Today we're going to talk about the comparative grammar, yada, 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 and I can go through this whole thing. Before we get started here, let's see what kinds of options we have available for us. So in the free version, we get the little bubble here that you can move around the screen. And I know a lot of people like the bubble because it's not kind of the traditional square that you see in a lot of the other apps. And you can also make the bubble bigger, you can make it smaller, you can make it full screen. Whoa. I'll go back down here and I'll click on one of the circles here to make it smaller. That's much better. Now let's see what we get with the Pro version. We get this little bar on the side, and this is going to allow us to, in this case, restart the video. We don't want to do that right now. You can pause the recording if I want to stop recording for a moment. have a drink of water, something like that, and then keep recording. That's a possibility. We also have this, which will allow us to cancel the recording completely and just delete the recording. And then we have the annotation feature. Now, this is a little lackluster compared to a lot of the other apps we've tried so far, because this one, you choose a color, you can choose the size of your drawing or your pencil here. But the thing is, as you can see, it disappears. It's more of kind of like a highlighter, like the zoom highlighting function that we talked about a few videos back. And not only that, when you write something, not only does it disappear right away, but if you want to change colors to identify two different things, it doesn't let you do it. It actually changes the color of even the stuff that you drew before. So no matter what I do here, it's very temporary, and it definitely makes it a little difficult if you're looking for some more permanent annotations to write for your class lecture. One last thing that I haven't mentioned yet in the Pro version is this little highlighty circle thing here that appears when you click on stuff. And that is something that, again, you only get with the Pro version, something which, if you remember, was an option that came in the free version of many of the other apps that we've talked about already. Those are all of the features, the free features here, and the Pro feature kind of annotation and cancellation tab and whatnot on the left-hand side there. All right, so we're all done with this video. We're going to click stop, and it's going to close the desktop version and open up the web page and start uploading the video. So here we go. It's getting uploaded right now. So let's take a look at some of the stuff that we can do here once we've recorded our video in Loom. So first of all, we have a whole bunch of options. We can download, we can duplicate the video, delete the video if we'd like, and we can also share it. Now there are all kinds of other sharing options. Now, again, this is going to be different in the free and the Pro version. In the free version, you can share a link, but only in the Pro version do you get options for specifically sharing it with certain people or special invites and like adding passwords and things like that. And there are other ways that we can share as well, like we can copy a link and share it with other people and things like that. But I just also want to point out that in the free version, it's not quite as easy to share. In the Pro version, you get basically unlimited videos hosted online on Loom, and you can easily share as many videos as you like with your students. In the free version, you can only have up to 25 videos in Loom, which is still quite a bit, but you're still limited there. And also the sharing options are not the same as these. You wouldn't be able to share them in quite the same way with all of your students if you're using the free version. In addition to that, advanced features like trimming and calls to action are things that you would not get in the free version. But just to see how the trimming looks compared with some of the other platforms, if we click here, one thing I like about it is most of the other platforms, they only let you trim from the ends. But Loom here, if I click on somewhere in the video and click start trimming, it actually lets me trim from the middle, which is really cool. And again, something we don't see very often in a lot of the other platforms. I think we've only really seen this in YouTube before. And it's very simple. Once you've highlighted by dragging these little arms here to the section you want to delete, you just click remove, and you can go to another place and maybe delete some of this. I know that I usually make mistakes at the beginning of videos, so I can go here, start trimming, and I can take out that beginning section where maybe I forgot something or I didn't say something properly. So very, very easy. And the other thing I like about Loom is it's quite fast in terms of processing. So different from Adobe Spark and YouTube that can take a heck of a long time to work. This one, you click publish changes and you get this cute little doggy animation here. And as you'll see, the screen is going to start sort of filling up as it trims. And it actually tells you how long it's going to take to trim, which I think is also pretty cool because you're not just sitting there waiting, tapping your foot for this video that you'll have no idea when it'll finish processing. While it's loading, let's just talk about a couple of the other features here as well. So in settings, we have options for comments. So again, this is sort of like YouTube where once you upload it to Loom and you share the link, other people can come, they can leave comments, you can get email notifications, you can add thumbnails for your videos just like you can in YouTube. and also giving options if you want your students to be able to download it. And a lot of times I know teachers do not want their students to be able to just download all their videos off the internet there. So I could click off if I don't want my students to do it. And I can also get analytics as well to see how many people watched it, how long they watched it for. Again, similar to what you have in YouTube. So I'm going to click save here. And I'm going to do one last thing is I want to show you the call to action feature. So this basically will open up something at the end of the video that will allow you to link your students to something else or ask them to do something. So I could say, for example, check out my YouTube. And then I could put in the link to my YouTube channel here. Or if it's a class on TED Talks or you want your students to check out a resource, that's something you can put here. You click on save. And then when students get to the end of the video, they get this little call to action here. And if I click on this, it'll open up YouTube because that's the link that I put in there. So I'm not going to go through all of the things that Loom does not have, but you can check out the table here. There are quite a few things that, again, many of the other apps have that Loom does not. Again, Loom specializes in this sort of simplicity here, which is really great for some people. However, the lack of automated captioning or even having a whiteboard, or even having an annotation feature that keeps what you've written down there for more than 5 seconds, that really hurts this platform in terms of usability for teachers. In terms of compliance, it actually is pretty good being FERPA compliant, and because of the extensive work they've done with privacy, it could potentially be FIPA compliant as well. But again, you should always ask your IT department to verify this for your school, as your school might have some different conditions. In terms of interoperability, of course, it works as a standalone platform. It has its own desktop version and all of that. However, right now, it does not officially integrate with any other learning management system. So basically, you'll have to copy a link here and then post that link in your Canvas or your learning management system, whatever you're using. Finally, now the cost is a big deal here. And like I mentioned before, this app, it does require you to pay in order for you to have some of the features that other apps have for free. You have to pay $10 a month for the Pro account, which lets you do the temporary annotations and the trimming. And if your school wants to register to use Loom, they're looking at paying anywhere between $15 to $45 a month per user. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this helped you decide whether or not you're going to try to use Loom in your personal teaching environments. Please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and tell your colleagues about this, and let me know how I can make these videos better for you. If there's something I can do to make you come back or make you want to see more, let me know, and I'd be more than happy to change the way that I'm doing the videos, or maybe explain in more detail or less detail, really whatever you'd like, because as always, I'm Adam, your personal EdTech specialist, and stay healthy.